all his photos, he was so handsome.
Your photos are so close, it's just an eyeball or this part of your face.
I don't like dirty people.
Do you get pussy pics?
I've had that.
Sucking their own dick! Hey guys, welcome to Unscripted, real talk on real life. We are your hosts, myself, Sarah, Renate, Victoria, and a wonderful special guest, Robert Ballard, who is Victoria's lovely partner. Today, we are chatting about dating, online dating, relationships, what it's like, personal experiences, and we're just going to let the ball go and see what happens. And hope you have some fun watching us.
Well, first of all, sort of like online dating. You're online dating at the moment, aren't you, Sarah?
Horribly, yes I am.
Horribly?
It is, I'm sorry. Yes, I am on Tinder and Hinge and...
Which is better, Tinder or Hinge?
Hinge.
Hinge.
I think
I'll go
Hinge
to Hinge.
Hinge is-
Tinge. I'll go Tinge. Do them all. Tinge.
I do agree, because I think Hinge has got more adult, it's more mature, whereas Tinder's quite
Tinder is
immature.
for fucking.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
funny, isn't
like,
it? The
it's
way we
like-
find different people on different ones, you find.
Yeah, and plus, I feel like Tinder's very finicky. Like, all the people are so, I don't know, it's hard to get a hold of anyone on there. I know. You get so many...
Is that more about you or is that about Tinder?
Maybe, I don't know. Back in my day.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
So, you both met on Tinder, right?
Tinder.
We did, yeah.
Was that just for fucking, was that Robert? Since that's what Tinder... Yes, Robert. Do tell, Robert.
At the time, yes, it was. But it evolved into something much more special.
No.
No, I mean, at the time it wasn't...
It was for fucking.
Well, I mean, it was at the time it was... I was just looking to have some fun. I just got out of a
we weren't
relationship.
looking to
I wasn't
go
looking
into-
for anything, and honestly, my strategy back then, which is still a great strategy, is just send the same message out to 100 people, and then whichever one replies, and you can actually get some content back first.
And that's really funny because I used to copy and paste my messages because everyone asks you in the beginning the same questions over and over, and it's like nothing really stands out. So I would copy and paste my answers because I actually just like the swiping. I was like, when you get to the talking, I kind of get a little bit overwhelmed with it.
Oh, it's just boring.
And boring.
You kind of swipe right and you kind of keep them there, not to actually have a conversation with, but just maybe. I'll put you on hold or pause in the maybe pile.
If you get put in the maybe pile, though, it's...
It's pretty much...
Yeah.
And Robert was talking to me, and I like literally pasted one of my answers that I was meaning for other people, for someone else, and sent it to Robert.
Did you know?
And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because it was completely irrelevant.
I figured it out because it was like, I can't remember what the conversation was. It was something along the lines of like, we were talking about my dog or I don't know, with a cat or something. And she's like, yeah, so anyways, I love this restaurant and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, right. Yeah. And I just ignored it. I just went with it.
And then it wasn't, and then he started talking again, and I was like, it dawned on me, and I was like, oh shit. And then I started reading up going, was it really bad? Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, it was super obvious. It was like, okay. But I just, I figured I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, but look at you now.
Yeah.
It worked. So.
Well, what, 2 years down the track? Nearly 2 years? 2 years?
2 years,
2 years, yeah.
So a Tinder success,
Yeah.
which is good. I mean, I know there are Tinder successes. I've had a couple of my friends married from Tinder, which is pretty cool.
Well, my
And
mother,
hopefully. Oh, and your
my
mum.
mum is getting married this Saturday,
right.
and they met on either Tinder or Bumble a few years ago now, and they are getting married this weekend.
Oh, see, it does happen. You can have true love, but boy, oh boy, do you gotta...
I think we got lucky. Like, Robert was
filter.
the only person I went and met because he was really persistent.
I was persistent, though. Well, actually, I
Well,
remember...
I don't blame you, actually.
Well, and at the time as well, I remember talking to someone, and they said that was one of their pieces of advice. They're like, if you want to meet with someone, you do have to be persistent on there. Because girls on these apps, you get like 5,000 guys liking you, and how can you choose anyways?
Oh, and look.
Well, I mean...
You found the needle in the
obviously.
haystack, babes.
You did.
persistent.
Persistence.
Well, it's the phone calls. I think it's that human interaction initially.
That makes a difference.
Because if you stay on the app, it's just like, whereas he straight away was like, I'm going to call you. And so we were talking for ages. And then mid-call, it was like midnight. I looked like an absolute fraggle. And he's like, oh, my cat's doing this really interesting thing. Let me FaceTime you. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? And next thing you know, he's popped up and I'm like, what do I do right now? So you saw the true Vic early days, which was probably took pressure off. Took pressure off.
If you want to, I figure it's the easiest way to get to know somebody. That's the hard thing about online dating is you're texting everyone, so there's no personality or anything at all. You're just reading. You're just reading what someone says they did, it's just boring. So
and you can say anything. Like there's no emotion behind the text. So I like actually speaking to people as well. And if they refuse to, that's a red flag for me. So.
And you're also the same with if they don't
I've
have
got a
social media or something.
love-hate
so you
relationship
can't see
with
them.
it. I'll tell them straight away. Get in touch with me. Find me on Messenger. We'll talk there. That way I know they're real and they're not catfish. And if they refuse to, then no, I'm not interested. So I can't be bothered.
Well, catfishing is a big problem. I think for men, I think a lot of
I was
men
surprised.
struggle with catfishing, but we found out lately that actually women are getting it too, that men are catfishing women also. So it's become this big, I think men
It's
is
ridiculous. I
filters,
don't see
whereas
the point.
for women, you guys have, like you've had a few where it's like a completely different person using someone else's photos.
2 in 1 day.
Yeah, using
Or
someone else's
catfish
pictures.
twice in 1 day.
that's crazy.
And you're having a conversation, and the conversation, to get my attention for a conversation takes a little bit because I get bored really quickly. Hi, how are you? How's your day? What do you do for work?
Exactly.
But you lost me.
How's your day? What do you do for work?
Boring. But if somebody catches my attention really fast, and it was such a good conversation, it was like bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh, I like this guy, and we connected really well. And then it kind of got down, about an hour or so later we were talking, and he goes, what would you say if the profile wasn't actually my photos? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I took it
She
to be
was so
true,
excited. You were
'cause
like,
it was really
look
fucking
at this
hot.
guy. And I was like, he's awfully
He is
filtered
hot.
for a guy. It was like professional photo. It looks like something from like a magazine photo shoot was put in these. And it was, I was like, where are these guys hiding out? Like, but it wasn't him.
No, it wasn't him. And he sent me his real photo along with a dick pic, which was unwanted. Woohoo! That was so amazing, not? And it was obviously an immediate turn on, because for me, if you're going to put fake photos of yourself, put them on the same par or the same level. Don't put, wow, I'm like this international supermodel, I'm hot as fuck, and then, I'm sorry, but you're below Joe average as fuck.
But maybe their
maybe
their
line.
confidence in themselves puts themselves.
Well, obviously not if they're using someone else's profiles.
Exactly.
Well, what is the reason
Why
people are
are you?
using?
Exactly.
Did
Why?
you ask him? Didn't you ask this
No,
one
I
guy?
didn't. I should have.
Well, yeah, because that's the other
Oh
thing.
no,
Why
for
is
work.
he? Why is he doing it?
Work.
Is he married?
Well, and
Or
that's
what?
the thing. Well, and that's the thing, and you do think that, but it was for work. He said it was for work. Actually, both of them said it's for work purposes.
Oh, bullshit.
And it's like, and then you do,
Yeah,
you're
but
right.
it's-
Are you
we're in-
married?
We're in 2021. I mean, like,
Work purposes?
Who cares
does your
if you're
wife
online
work
dating?
with you?
Yeah, yeah.
So normal now.
But like, it's the norm now. It's online dating. Is,
Why go on Tinder if you don't want to be seen? Like, it's just bullshit. It's just excuses.
I know, and I do
I've
agree.
seen
I'm glad I
way
didn't
too
meet
many
him.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I got twice, but I did speak to the other guy, and I actually spoke to him for a while because he actually, was a good-looking chap, and we started chatting away. But trying to meet up became such a mission, and I just completely lost interest.
That's always a big
And
thing
it was
as well.
just like
It's so
pulling
frustrating.
teeth. Yeah, it is trying to meet up and getting some, that you can meet up at a time. Like they live way over there, you're over here. We all have different lives and schedules, and we've got children. They don't have kids.
What do you set your mileage range, or like how far out do you search?
50.
I did
50.
60.
Yeah.
I did
60.
60.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I do 30.
I do like 10.
If there's
I do
nothing,
that.
if there's nothing
Oh,
within
yeah,
the
if they
30, I go wider.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends. How much you swiping?
The only reason I was interested is because I live 3 minutes down the road from him.
Like literally around the corner.
Literally, a hop away.
Maybe I should see that. Maybe that's what I should do. Bring it in.
Well, it
I've
is
got
because
60.
well, I always find the close. Again, it goes back to it's convenience, and the persistent things also come back to convenience. And when you're online dating, the more convenient someone makes it for you to meet with them, hey, let's go for a walk on the beach, grab a coffee or whatever. easy.
Well, that's what
Whereas,
sort of, like, a lot of people had asked to me, and I was kind of like, well, one, guys, well, this is what I find is, wow, guys, straight away, hi, how are you? You look amazing. Thank you. Want to meet? And it's like, well, I've got 100 messages in my inbox right now asking to meet. When, you know, why do you want to meet me? Do you connect, like, you know, I just can't go off that looks. You need to go off that connection with someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to know that we've got something coming that's going to be worth our while to go meet. So I want to have that sort of connection with someone.
You want to meet soon, but you don't want to meet too soon.
Yeah,
either.
but I found it
phone calls
so
maybe,
overwhelming anyway. And the thought of like the whole production around trying to organise my time with kids and work, and then other people trying to organise time, I found it very overwhelming setting a date, and then I'd freak myself out. Whereas Robert was so casual, we spoke quite a lot before we met, and then he was like, look, just on a break from work, fancy just meeting me down the road at, you know, the cafe, which was literally minutes for both of us. And I thought, I've already been talking to this guy. It's a nip down the road. It's not overwhelming. Whereas when it becomes a big production to meet each other, it's like,
Yeah, and if you've got to drive too far, because I've done the same. If it's too far, like meet me in Sandringham or Epsom, I'm like, that's a bit too far.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You set your radius
That's such a good
small.
idea.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to change it.
You never know who's living around.
But I'm not on it lots. I got to say, I have so bored of it. And Hinge, I just keep running out.
Yeah.
You know, I check them like every about 3-4 days, and then you just end up running out. And it's like, oh my God, really? Is there nobody here?
And in my area, I have to sort of go a little bit further because, you know, it's
You're not in this.
I'm not in the city.
Center, yeah.
Kind of miss out on all the good stuff if I don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, then again, people that kind of live on
but
the coast or a little bit farther away, you know,
There ain't
beachy
I know, but there's not many
boys.
single people up there.
That's quite family isn't it?
That's quite interesting.
They're like young families or
Yeah,
kind
young
of on their
families
way
or really
out.
old. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess most younger people who are single live in the city or close to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too far. Like I'm about 30 kilometres, so I have to set it, say, up to 50 really to sort of get more variety.
Variety. Yes.
That's funny. I mean, like, it is true. I mean, when I'm in Miami, you've got plenty of
my
people,
gosh.
but at my parents' house, they live quite rural, and we're probably at least 40 minutes from South Miami.
You had to travel for your dates.
I did, yeah. Oh, no one would ever. They'd think I was a serial killer if I invited them.
go
Oh,
out,
yeah, I live like farther. They're like, I'm not coming out.
Just go down this gravel road and bolt that gate, by the way.
Don't worry about the bearded man on the golf cart who's got his T-shirt off. He's real nice. Yeah, just keep going. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, but you know what? That's another thing that really blows my mind about online dating, and I have a couple of friends who have done it. I would never do it. Is going direct to somebody's house that you've never met, or you meet them at a fucking hotel room. Are you mad? Are you insane? I'm sorry, but I always go for a coffee. If you want to take me for dinner, no, it is coffee through the day. If we connect and I get a good vibe from you, then I'll do a dinner, sure. But no fucking way. Am I going to your house on my own? Did you too?
I'm amazed at how many. I actually said to Robert, I said, I'm actually amazed, like, you know, when we've been on breaks or whatever, how many women were very prepared to have a conversation with him that day and be in his house that day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. For me, I just don't think I could do that.
I had some. I don't invite everyone over to my house on the day.
I'm just saying it's happened.
Make me sound.
It's happened. Just saying it's happened.
Get hot here.
Yeah. No, in New York one time, I matched with this girl, and she invited me out for drinks, and I was trying to get my roommate to come with me. He was my close friend, and he didn't want to go. And I didn't want to go by myself. I just didn't feel like going out. So I was like, look, we have a rooftop. Why don't you come over here and we'll just have a drink on the roof?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's typical in New York. You know, you drink on the roof. And anyways, she did. But mind you, we'd never met, which was a really big mistake. And she came over, and it was weird. She brought her friend, and we were drinking. It was normal at first. And then she sort of started hitting on my roommate, Marshall. And her friend was sort of into me, and I was not into her friend at all. But I was like, whatever.
You're so beautiful.
Who wouldn't love you, Robert?
It's still new. And I'll fast forward. By the end of the night, her friend had passed out on the couch, and me and the girl I invited, we had kissed in my bedroom. And she's like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. Marshall's in his bed. And the way that the bedrooms are laid out is my door's here, Marshall's door's here, and my door closes, and I hear Marshall's door open and close. It's like, huh, that's odd. And so then, like, I waited a minute. I was like, there's no way this is happening. Anyways, so I got up, and I opened the door, and Marshall's in his bed, and she's, like, pulling down his sheets.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
yeah, it was weird.
Quite
And
aggressive.
he looks at me, he's like, bro. And I was like, all right, you need to get out of here. Like, it's just time to go. Like, you need to leave, get your friend. Yeah. And, oh God, it was a...
They wouldn't leave though, would they? Wasn't
no,
the
they
friend
didn't want to...
on all fours and your takeout? And...
Yeah, so I had... anyways, we're trying to push them out of the apartment. Her friend's asleep on the couch. She's not waking up. And I was really mad at this point. So
man's ego's really bruised right now.
yeah, just having. And I'm also a little drunk. So, anyways, I saw a big cup of water and I threw it on her friend on the couch.
Robert! Wakey, love.
Because to be fair, we tried waking her up for like good 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Nothing was happening. So I just was like,
even putting
fuck
yourself
this.
in that position.
That's a scary position.
Yeah, she's in a stranger's
could
house.
have been a
getting
serial
carried
killer.
Oh yeah, it would have been a perfect fucking setup.
Yeah.
So anyways,
wow.
I throw this glass of water. She like wakes up in a storm, starts like drunken like stupor, knocking shit over, almost knocked the TV over. And then her friend at this point is on the phone. She's like, I'm calling my mom. And I was like, oh, but this is all when the whole like Me Too movement had just started. And so I was worried that she was going to like spin some story.
Yeah.
Just the way the night was going, I was like, this is weird. So anyways, I grabbed the phone, and just as I grabbed the phone from her, her mom answered. I said, hi, your daughter's in my apartment, and she's really drunk. I've asked her to leave quite a few times. She's not leaving. If she doesn't leave, I'm going to call the cops in a minute. And I gave the phone back to the girl.
Which is a really wise thing to do because they put themselves in a stupid position, and you guys, that whole situation.
It had been like 20 minutes now, and they still hadn't left. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, the mom got on. I don't know what she said, but they started leaving. And I'm pushing this girl out the door, I look over in the kitchen, and the other girl is on her knees in my refrigerator eating fucking ramen.
Oh my God!
With her hands, like shoving ramen in her mouth with her hands. And I was just like, what the fuck, bro? Anyways. It was awful. I didn't go on Tinder for a good year and a half after that.
I wonder if those girls are still alive.
It's really, it is. It's absolutely insane. But there's that side of it, you know. There's that really dangerous side that women put themselves, and men. I mean, I don't know. Could there be things where there's setups of, you know, like, I don't know, somebody doesn't like somebody and then sets somebody up to come over and then something happens to that person, you know? Are there those sorts of things?
Man.
Do people get, you know, horrible things happen to other people? We know that happens because there has been some really scary things happen.
Had that happen to her.
Yeah.
We had sort of been on and off dating, and we just sort of became friends. She called me one night, and she's like, I went on a bad Tinder date, and I got drugged and raped.
Yeah. Far
it was like, I was like, you know, I was freaking out. What do you do? What do you do? And it's you just don't think, especially in New York. I don't know. Obviously, everything happens in New York, but
that's really
it can happen everywhere.
It can happen everywhere. I don't know. It was just, but the fact that you're in the city, I don't know, in apartment buildings, you don't really think about it like that. Anyways, yeah, it was scary.
So there's that scary side, but then there's a real fun, you know, obviously the fun side and the awesome side and the success side, and I don't know, you want to, you know, whatever you're looking for, a fuck buddy or just a movie buddy
as well?
or...
Because it's starting to get that bit of a stigma of, you know, people actually trying to find relationships, and everyone's going, yeah, I'm really trying to find a relationship. But then you go on these dates and meet people, and it's all just, oh, I don't know what I'm looking for, it's just casual. I don't know what I'm looking for, it's just casual. I mean, I did go on there having it was actually my mother that taught me into going onto online dating, because she had such a success story, and it was my mum that said, you know, you need to give it a go, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But, you know, I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew that I missed that adult company. You know, I was missing, you know, you put your kids to bed at night, and then it was just like, you know, your friends or with families and stuff, and it was like, right.
And you're alone for hours, like from 7 o'clock till 10 or 11, whatever time you go to bed, on your own, and you're like, well, what the fuck do you do? You know what I mean?
Exactly,
and you do miss the man company, the male company.
Just a physical connection with somebody and talking about random
I like
stuff.
the good morning, beautiful messages in the morning. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it makes you feel good. It lifts you up.
I find
Yeah.
as well the city that you're living in definitely makes a difference too, because like somewhere in New York, it wasn't always that important if you were single because you could just go out and it's so busy. There's so many things to do. But somewhere like New Zealand,
It's so small.
the nightlife culture dies at, during the week it dies at 11 o'clock, 12
Is there
o'clock.
a nightlife here and during the week? Fucking hell.
And on the
is,
weekends
yeah.
for sure, it goes later. But even then, I don't know. It's just sort of.
The dynamics have changed though, hasn't it? Because remember when you used to go to a bar and a man would approach you or you would approach a man
And you could talk.
and you just start talking.
Yeah.
Whereas now you kind of look at each other, but
Everything feels
nobody
very
approaches anybody
standoffish.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
But there are a lot of standoffish people as well. When you do approach them, they sort of like, hang on, what are you doing? There's always like an agenda, or people
Which is-
can't talk openly with each other without thinking too far
more
into it.
Yeah.
And that's where connections would actually really start, just a genuine conversation.
Because it seems to have gone that the way to meet someone would be you'd go out and you would, I don't know, you have single nights out and you meet people and stuff like that. I think in the beginning, I went out a few and met people on nights out, and I think for me, I just found that was really the terrible way to meet anyone. Personally, that was what I would, it used to be the way, and then all of a sudden it was like, probably not the best, environment for. I remember one time I went out and we were like in a club dancing with my girlfriends and stuff, and this guy came over who was really good looking, really tall, looked a lot older, really built, and by the end of the night we shared a kiss. He was 19. And I was like, what? And I was like, you're kidding me. He's like, no, I'm 19. He goes, how old are you? And I'm like, 28 at the time. It was a few years ago. And then his mate goes, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, and I have 2 kids. And he was like, what? And I was like, uh-huh. And his mate goes, whoa, what a cradle snatcher. And I was like, not intentional. I actually got annoyed. I was like, excuse me? I was just like, and then I was like, nah, sorry. And then he's like, oh, age is just a number, it's fine. I was like,
But it is.
yes, but it depends on what you're wanting. If you're wanting it, just to take someone home and have sex with, then, 19 and 28, it's okay. But if you're wanting more.
Then 19's too young, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maturity level-wise, I would,
10 years ahead of both of you, 10 years older, it would be okay.
Yeah.
But I always found it wasn't, because I'm just thinking back to when Tinder first came out, and it was really taboo.
How long has it been around for? Does anybody know? 7, 8, 8
It was 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
About 7, 8 years. Because I would have been about
And it was
22
taboo back
ish,
then,
23 when it first came out, and I thought it was great. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Sex on Tinder.
Literally
Don't have
just
to
sit
pay
there
for
and
it,
swipe. Don't have to pay for it. Yeah. There was no subscription, like unlimited swiping, and I remember at one point I hated filtering, so I just sit there and just swipe, and then whoever responded, then I filter through that way. It's a lot easier. Which I guess was why the subscriptions work now. But anyways, before that, you'd go out. I remember I'd look forward to going out with my friends to the bars or the clubs or wherever, because that was where you met girls. That was the only place you could meet girls, unless you got lucky and met someone in a cafe randomly. Which was.
But that's all changed. Like, it's a real drinking kind of atmosphere out there now. It'd be unlikely you can go out to meet people.
well, that's what I
And
mean.
they're all drunk by the
like
time you get out
now, 32, 2 kids, and the thought of going clubbing or out to bars all night, and depending on what environment you're in as well, is it like-minded people? Because I go out now and I feel like I'm young.
God,
I'm
they're
young.
old as anything.
32 is like
Yeah.
young, but I go out now and it's like I feel like I'm surrounded with all these youngsters, which is they're amazing and I love their energy, but I'm just like, it makes me feel older than what I am. And then I get tired, and then I'm going home at midnight when everyone's going out. I'm like, it's midnight, I'm up in the morning, like off I go.
Slippers.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of hard to then meet someone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And then you have the people that you sort of connect with. You have great conversation. You go into Messenger, you continue conversation there. They're real people. You meet up and then they say, oh, yeah, I'm not too sure what, if I'm looking for a relationship, because I'm not sure where I'm going to be, in the next few months.
Everyone's too
and then
nervous
you've already
to
kind of liked them, and you think you've got over that first hurdle, and then you're like, well, bloody hell, couldn't you have told me that before we met, you know?
Yeah.
And it sucks.
People just aren't straight up enough, or maybe they say what they want to say, so then they can meet you, and if there's a connection, they just want to fuck you, and then you won't see them again.
Yeah.
I always
know,
thought-
There's a lot of that.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah, but people
Be
will make
honest.
any sort of excuse other than what, because sometimes people don't even actually know what they're feeling. You know, if they
have
don't
no
have the
clue.
connection immediately, and they just know that maybe that's not exactly what I'm looking for, then they'll just say anything. Just be like, oh, you know, this isn't working.
What they
I don't
think
know.
you, they, you know,
What
you
they
want to
think
hear.
you want to hear. That's
Yeah.
I
you know,
literally,
easiest.
I had no idea, and then going into meeting Robert as well, because I didn't really actually meet anyone else, and I didn't really know. And I think you were asking me that, and I was like, look, I'm not ready for a relationship or anything, but I just want to connect with people. You know, I don't really know what I want, and I was like, but I was very much like, I'm not looking to get into a relationship. I don't know what that means, because I'm also not someone who just has casual, like I didn't know what it meant. I just was kind of like, okay, here we go, let's see what happens. And I remember you actually saying to me, don't have expectations, just connect with people and see what happens. And we were really lucky how we connected. We connected very strongly in the beginning, and because you weren't looking for anything, I wasn't looking for anything, then all of a sudden, overnight, we were like,
Well, I think the thing is,
old married couple.
most guys.
I love that.
Literally.
Oh, well, it was very instant.
I don't think
when
we didn't spend a single night, like
You
a
guys are
pod,
lucky.
and like, well, not single night, but
we
when
did.
it,
We
when
did
it,
get lucky. It was.
And just someone who you gel with like immediately, and there's not this all awkward.
Because there were so many
you know.
factors of why we possibly couldn't have met. You know, if she had canceled and then I'd say, I'm
nearly
going to date with
cancelled.
someone else, you know, or like, and like, because I vaguely remember talking, and it's like, again, you're going back to, you've got 100 people on there who you've all got conversation. No one's responding except for a couple people, and half those people you're not really into anyways. You just sort of want to talk to someone, and then so I don't know. It's all chance.
Yeah, but you guys, things do usually happen as they're meant to be. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you
I
guys are
believe
meant
in
to be,
that.
yeah.
Apparently, I was the first he matched with when on going on.
You were my first. Yeah, you were my first match that time around.
This is way too cute.
It is cute. What about us?
You guys are lucky. Yeah.
Well, you've had
hold on
some
to
funny
that.
ones. It's
Yeah.
because it's also interesting as well what I find between meeting people sort of like when you're out and about. And so for me, because dating again was so new, I hadn't dated in so long. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know
It's
the
frightening,
rules.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
And when you have kids as well, it's you're sort
I was
of
like,
extra careful.
Yeah,
and,
very much
and there's
so.
a lot more to take on board as well.
yeah.
You know?
I was like, how does this go now? How does it go? What do you do? And it was, you've had one recently as well where it's like, what are the rules? What are you supposed to follow? And is it too much? Is it not enough? How do we communicate? And you had a big communication breakdown through
And it
online
was actually,
dating.
and it was actually quite funny because he was a really nice guy and we hit it off. And not my typical person I would go for, but that's the whole thing about it, is just exploring different options, because obviously my go-tos are just not, my normal look or taste hasn't worked for me, hence why I'm single. So, we just broaden the spectrum.
We're changing it up a bit.
Yeah, just mixing up. And he was really nice and we hit it off and had a really nice time. And then we caught up again and we hit it off again. It was really nice. And then none of us messaged each other for a whole week. So I was like, because we snogged, we had a snog. There was no sex. So I was like, I'm not DTF. There's no way I'm going to do that on the second date. Hello. Maybe the third, but not the second. And he did ask and I said no. And I said no. I said, I'm not saying no forever, but I'm saying no for now. And he goes, I actually really respect that. And I said, well, that's good. So anyways, and we had a really good time. And it was a whole week went past. And remember, we were like, fucking asshole. He didn't message me because we didn't have sex. Prick. What a wanker. And so we were all
Man is getting slated this whole
he is
week.
getting slayed
Heard
down by the
nothing from
girls.
Little did we know.
Little did we know. And this was actually a really good learning experience, and I'm really actually glad it happened. And he messaged me on the Sunday and he goes, oh, happy Easter. I hope you have a really good Easter. You ghosted me. Why did you ghost me? And I went, well, fuck me. He's actually right, because what are the rules that say he should contact me first?
Yeah.
But I expected him to contact me, so why did I have that expectation of him? So I immediately messaged him back and I said, you know what, you're actually really right. I said, I'm really sorry that you felt that way, because I actually felt that way also. And I said, I had a really good time with you. And he goes, well, so did I. And so we caught up again, and we catch up like once a week, and it's been fine. And I mean, it's nothing that's intense or ultra passionate or anything like that. So I'm not,
So you've been on the third date?
I have been on the third date. Can I hide? Am I blushing yet?
I'm sorry.
God. We did go on a third date. And you know what? And it was nice and it was fun.
So you guys broke through then?
Yeah, and we did. And he's a really nice guy. His energy is really nice. He's a very calm energy. Really nice to be around and that sort of thing. But I don't know if it's going to go any further. But I'd still like to catch up with him again. And we want to catch up again, but it's just, I'm not sure if there's that there, but...
Maybe in time, maybe it won't. But
Well, and that's the thing, it's trying, because I've been on four dates, and they've all been no.
Yeah.
Not what I expected at all, like whether it's height, like I'm not attracted, it's just me personally, having a man my height or shorter than me is
It's
just,
hard, yeah,
and
no,
I'm
I
short.
can't,
I'm
yeah.
like 5'5", 5'6". I'm not a tall person, but I like to wear stilettos. But I also like to feel like a little, to like back it up and snuggle it into a nice big burly man. And that doesn't mean big muscles or anything like that, because I actually quite like my podge. I like my dad bods. So even though I post my sexy tattooed gods, yes, Mr. Creekman, I would love him to be my husband. He just doesn't know it yet. But I actually prefer.
A bit of squish.
I do.
A bit of cuddle.
All my long-term boyfriends have always had smudges, and it's nice to back it all up in and have these big arms around you, and I like that. And the height, like 6 foot is like 6 foot and over is like perfect height, I think, to make you feel itty bitty.
I don't
and
think
cute.
I've ever personally as well, just like, I fully understand that because it is nice, and obviously Robert's a heck of a lot taller than me. And you're very strong.
Oh, wow.
Burly and manly.
Yes.
But it's actually never, that side of things I haven't really thought about as much when I'm dating and stuff like that. And it, for me, the thing I struggled with like Tinder and all those, or Hinge, Bumble, is connecting with someone through a photo. I feel nothing when I look at photos. Like I can see someone's an attractive person, but I don't feel attracted to them until I connect with them in some way.
100%.
And then for me, once I've connected with someone, their physical being just, that then speaks out to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ever really, I've never really had a type in that sense, because it's never really mattered height, build, or anything really. It's just, wow, I'm really connecting with you, and now I see that you're beautiful.
But in the old days, when you used to meet people, you'd get that instant energy and instant
because
attraction.
your energy talks
Whereas
before
you are
you
looking
do.
into a phone where it's just dead nothing.
Well,
You
maybe
know,
that's
so
why
it's
everyone's
hard.
catfishing everyone, saying I'm a really great person, just meet me first, because I don't photo well.
Yeah, and you want to pick me on my photo, but
Yeah.
like, do you think we all go into things with too much expectations? Do you think if we lowered those expectations or dropped the expectations altogether and met somebody, we could actually see them without any sort of like
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you had some guy that you had matched with who like you'd spoken to a couple times, and then stopped talking to, because we had met, and then that guy had apparently had like some massive crush on you and like freaked out
did he get
that
all
you stopped talking
fidgety?
to him, but like you'd never met him in
And they
person,
get offended.
and that's where it's like you never met the person, you've only spoken to them through text, and it's like I find
And
that
it became
people
a-
build up these
became a
really
big
big
deal.
expectations of somebody, but you never met the person. So you're a little.
You know, and you're speaking to so many people, and I feel awful because I didn't, you are speaking to so many people, and I mean, me personally as well, my Tatiana, our good friend Tatiana, she was laughing at me because whenever I was dating on Tinder, if I wanted to come off Tinder, I wouldn't come off until I had messaged everyone that I'd been messaging an apology and letting them know I was coming off.
That
Like, I was just like, and obviously at this point, for some reason, maybe I'd gotten over the rigmarole of doing that, because it was like, oh, for God's sake, this is too stressful, it's too much. But yeah, so maybe I hadn't done that, and maybe I'd just come off, or unmatched. I don't actually remember the circumstance, but it became a big deal. And I don't even remember the conversations, and I feel...
Poor guy.
But it's a little bit worrying that someone never met someone.
That's mental. That's
It sounds
mental.
stalkerish.
This guy's never...
It's not meant. I guess they felt maybe connected. I don't know. Whereas I'm just...
If you haven't met
No, he
somebody...
knew he struck gold, and he probably was hoping to meet you in person, you know. And you
I could
didn't get that
understand
chance.
being a little upset. You didn't get to meet the person. You didn't match or whatever. You're like, oh man.
Oh my God,
but
yes,
to be
that happened to
like
me, didn't it? Fuck.
supremely offended, and then to contact your
Other
friends
friends.
to say this was a story. So the guy contacted a work colleague, and then got her friend to tell Victoria that this guy was all upset and wanted to have it, and made this big thing about it. I was like,
No,
you guys never even met.
No, I don't know if it was like...
Hands off my girl. You fucking prick. You missed out. So fuck out of here.
Burn it!
I don't know if it was quite like I think he was just... I think he communicated it to a few people that got back to me about how severely disappointed and get in touch with her.
You can't help it really. You're fucking beautiful. And not only that, but you're beautiful on the inside as well. So he did miss out. So anyways.
Yeah, but it can be a bit much, I think, sometimes. A bit much.
Or if you do,
Or
delete
people
it,
that you've
and then they
dated.
find you on Instagram, or not Instagram, or Messenger, and say, why'd you delete me?
Oh, God, it's not
Oh,
deleting. You
that's
just delete
just
the
as
app.
weird.
You just deleted the
Stalkerish.
app.
That's just as weird.
Stalkerish.
Yeah. But Lord, what about that guy recently? We've been chatting for what, fucking 4 weeks, 5 weeks, never met. We met. Disaster.
Oh, that was
shit.
a disastrous.
Like, I'm not gonna.
You got your
I'm not gonna name
personalities
names, I'm
just.
not gonna name anything, but the conversations were epic. It was like, holy fuck, I can't wait to meet this guy. He sounds so me to a T. The photos, I was like, oh my God, he's like super hot.
It was hot.
as shit. And I'm like, oh my God. So we finally met up after about 5 weeks, and 5 weeks is a long time. And at one part, I actually said to him the week before we met, you know what, this is going nowhere, see you later, and I can't be fucked. And then he came back going, whoa, 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 and he put me in my place, and I was like, ooh, I quite like your spunk.
That energy,
I like
that's-
that. You got some spunk, and I liked it. So it's not like, okay, sure, see you later. He just came back at me, and I was like, oh, okay. We met. I was floored. I walked away from that.
You were
date.
so confused.
I walked away going, what the hell was that? I felt like I had to constantly justify myself on everything we talked about. The way I looked, the way I dressed. Oh, honey, the car I drove.
What do you mean?
What I did for work.
What was he saying though?
Well, he
Give the examples.
I literally was wearing a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and some Nike kicks. Normally I wear high heels if I go on a date. I didn't wear high heels, and I wore my white fur jacket. And I had on, I've got on jewellery-wise, I think my other necklace and a couple of rings. And he kind of rolled up, and he was kind of just looked at me up and down. He goes, so is this casual for you, is it? And I'm like, yes, it's casual. And then I'm like, what do you expect me? I was like, yeah. And I go, see, normally I wear stilettos. And he goes, oh, okay. And he just kind of looked at me like this, and then he asked what I did for a job, and he goes, oh, well, that's funny, because I don't know anybody that does what you do for a job and rolls around in European cars dripping in gold.
Oh my God, what a dick.
Motherfucker. And then he's like,
Well, maybe you're very successful at what you do.
no
but-
shit.
You
And
should
then-
say, does
and
it
he's
make you
like,
feel insecure, does it?
well, you know what? And then he goes, and he's like, is money so important to you, is it? Oh, I bet you one of those girls that do this and those girls that do that, and, you know,
What a fucking prick.
are you going to ring me up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're drunk, blah, blah, and it's like, motherfucker,
I
I've been
know.
sober for a
I
year and a
know.
half.
She's
I
like,
don't
excuse
drink
me, I don't
alcohol,
drink.
actually.
It goes back to perceptions.
Yeah, and you know what? I keep pulling him up. I pulled him up so many times, and I said, you keep putting me in a box of what you think I am. And I said, you need to stop it, because I am nothing like you think I am. Trust
Did your
me.
ex-girlfriend do that? I don't know.
I don't know, but I just, everything I
yeah.
said, everything. There was none of this, like, you know, because I've got a few little, you know, fingers in a few pies, you know, you have to. And there was none of this, oh, tell me more about that. That sounds really interesting. Oh, didn't.
Well, what
you
an
know,
amazing woman
well,
are
good
that
on
you're
you, single
solo
mum,
mum who
trying
has
to,
multiple businesses, who earns well, supports her and her daughter,
he
doesn't
just
need
slammed
anyone
everything.
to come and support. It is a mutual relationship where you both, you know, and you can hold your own. You're independent, and
It was really bizarre. I
well
walked
done.
away
You're independent.
so confused.
That
I
was
like,
just his own insecurities reflecting back on you. That's
like,
all it
everything
was.
from everything I
Yeah.
said. He slammed me on everything, and I had to feel like I
prick.
justified everything. And I walked away, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then there was still a couple of messages, and I said to him, "You know, I don't know if that was really good or really bad." I said, "I'm really confused." And he came back at me, and no matter what I said, he kind of would push it back on me, manipulate it that I was a bit fucking crazy, and I was
he
seeing
just-
things that weren't there. So it was like red
That's
flag,
another
red flag,
whole
red
other
flag. Yeah,
ball
like a
game
real
that.
head, like a guy that could really mess with your head pretty quickly and badly. So it was like,
mess
nah.
with your head, because after date, it took a bit of processing that date, didn't it? Because after the date, you called me and we were both on the phone for ages, and we're going, okay, it took a while for us to
Dissected it.
really work it out, because he was doing it so, it's actually quite smartly. And we were like, okay, is this because he's just this strong personality? And maybe it was like this sort of tension building, or and he's like, because he kept being like, no, I'm not putting you in box, I'm just trying to work you out. And I thought, oh, is he
Yeah.
just trying to get to know you and understand, or?
And he doesn't
but
know
it
how.
wasn't, yeah, but it was
not very personable.
No, there was definitely something. So
There's a
red
difference
flag,
between
see you later.
getting to know somebody and then just like
Categorizing them into
Yeah,
a
like-
box. Yeah.
I think the big thing was you exited that date not feeling good about
No, I
yourself.
didn't.
You
No,
didn't
I
feel
didn't.
good, and you felt like
At
you
all.
had to justify your being, and you were like, I don't actually know how I feel, and I feel very confused.
Yeah.
And to come away from a date, especially a first
He
one,
rattled me. I was rattled.
Yeah,
I
you
like,
were
for
rattled.
for a few days. I was
and you
really
want to
rattled
feel
about it.
excited after a date. You think, oh, that was a,
Yeah,
like, that
and
was nice.
I spoke to Sarah about it, and Sarah was, we dissected it all. Well, not that I normally would, because if you go away from a good date, you're like, God, that was amazing, I felt so good, I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah.
Or no, that just wasn't good, we didn't gel, and we're not going to catch up again. But this one kind of really fucked with my head so much that it really made me question a lot of things. So after I spoke to Sarah and stuff, and we kind of went through, I was like, wow, his personality was
I had
just
a similar experience.
gnarly.
I went on a date with a girl. I showed up. I picked her up, and I remember off the bat, she was like, "Oh, you think because you drive a nice car that you have more money than me?" She said that. It was like one of the first things she said in like the first 5 minutes of conversation, 2 minutes of conversation. I was like, "What?" It caught me so off guard. I was like, "No." And then like the whole night, it was like she was like, "You know, I own 2 houses, right?" Like she would say stuff like that, and I was like, "Okay." I was like, I don't know what you've painted me as. Like I don't
I wonder if
care.
that's other people's
then-
insecurities.
Yeah, of course.
100%
Halfway
that's
through-
perfection.
Always there. Yeah, definitely. They reflect
I remember
onto you.
I texted my mate
the
though, who was
insecurities.
working in the bar down the street though, and I was like, "Jason, what are you doing? Please come get me. Please come save me." He's like, I'm on a date, and I was like, "Great, bring her. I'll go with you guys."
I love it, yeah. Rescue, SOS.
Yeah.
Well, there's a date. There's a first
Have
date
you,
as well.
have you been on a lot of Tinder dates or Hinge dates?
I've never been on a Hinge date actually. I tried to sign up to Hinge and I just
Oh, the
came off it.
rigmarole,
I
eh?
was just like, nah,
Yeah.
this is crap. It's taking too long.
Oh, see, I
Yeah.
loved it. I was
No,
like,
I
"Whoa, more
didn't like
questions."
it. But,
But it's
many
good when
years
you
ago,
see it.
when I first came back into the sort of dating scene, when I was ready to, I went on Tinder and the first person I matched up with, I did meet up with, and we went for a walk, and we hit it off and saw each other for quite a few months.
Oh.
And yeah, it was really good. It was a good way to sort of get back into, what's out there, because
Getting
I
your
hadn't
foot
been
out
out
into the dating
Oh
world
yeah,
is
definitely.
it's really
But-
intimidating.
From since then, that's probably 7 years ago when I first came out, to now, like, it has changed. Back then, I felt there was a lot more people on there that were looking
Honest.
genuinely for relationships.
I think it's
to
just
get
built
to know
up a bad
people.
rap. a
Yeah,
little bit.
now
It's
I
just-
go on it now. I kid you not, 2 hours later I'll be off again.
Yeah.
And anyone that I've matched with that I'm interested in, I say, if you want to continue this conversation, find me on Messenger, message me, and we'll carry on. I'm deleting this app.
Those are my good friends. Same thing. He's like, I'm on it, and he's like, I'll download it. I'll swipe for an hour or two, and he's like,
It's
why
a
am I on
time
here?
waster.
It is, yeah,
It
because
is,
you
and
feel so.
admin.
And it deflates you. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh
Yeah.
God,
And
come
you start
on.
feeling judgmental because you're judging them on photos and
Yeah,
stuff like that, and
exactly.
you feel like
and
shit.
It's that throwaway society thing, everyone.
Or you like redo your
throwaway.
profile. It's like, oh, your picture's in the right order. Should I say more on my profile? Should I say less?
I don't say
Actually,
nothing on mine if they want
I
to
found
know.
saying
Really?
nothing is the best.
It's interesting. We had this conversation because I said, for me, when I go on,
profile.
if they do not have a bio, I just swipe no.
I'm the same.
I have
I'm
to see
on the
it.
bio though. It
I
can
know,
be full
but
of shit.
the fact
Exactly.
that they made an
I want to know
effort,
them outside.
and
Even a couple of lines.
and it shows a little bit of their personality. So
I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
No
I
lines
like
means
bio.
DTF.
Whereas
just wanna
you
fuck.
find when you
DTF.
write stuff, probably what he writes.
You need to write just something.
Hey, I have good profiles.
Can he just share something that he writes, and no wonder he gets more from not having a bio? Well, there was the intestine thing. What? Exactly. Exactly.
You do ones that make people
I
question
do out
about
some
like,
dark humor shit because it's like
love dark humor. Dark humor is the best.
if you stretch a man's intestines from end to end, he will die.
What?
So that would get no from me.
You guys
I'd be like, no.
What the fuck is this? Please explain. And
Well,
then it
the
starts
thing
up a
is,
conversation.
yeah, but see, it narrows it down because then I had a few people who wrote me back and they were like, "Your profile's fucking hilarious."
Yeah.
And then we met, and I was like,
I do that too. If someone's gonna.
I would have never have.
Or if
"Well,
someone's
that
got
was that.
something
All right, that wasn't the
kinky.
most successful one."
Yeah, but I see. That's something I will probably do rather
No
than
wonder
write
you
all
get
this
more
stuff
from
down.
Well, the ones that have got like a bit of dominating or a bit of like a little bit of naughtiness, like some handcuffs or a little bit of like whippity whip. I'm like, oh, that sparked my interest, you know. But then a lot of them they don't have their faces on it, so I'm not going to go there. But if they had their face and a profile with a bit of kink, oh, then I'd go into it and I was attracted to it. But the ones that do have a bit of the kink on it, I can't help it. But I'm like, oh, I'm really, really, really want to find out who you are and if there's a connection, but I'm too scared because you could be like a right deviant, like too
it's
far,
also
you
like
know.
Renata's
Like
saying,
like,
you can-
it's a nice light kink.
People show you what they want you to see. You have 6 photos or however many photos on there. They show you their best photos, what they want you of what they think they want
Well,
the world to see them as.
Can we just go on that, please? Because I tell you what, there's a lot that people shouldn't be fucking putting up. What is up with this? I can see your nostril hairs. I can see all the pores on your skin. You know, you're scrolling back.
Oh, the photo, that
When
close.
they do the photos.
They're
Or glasses.
close. Oh my
Every single
God.
photo has glasses. I want to see your eyes. I don't want all these
No.
glasses.
They're
Take the
close
glasses
up.
What
off.
about the dumbass filters? The Snapchat filters.
girls
that
are really
everyone-
bad
The
at
girls
filters.
are terrible.
I'm
Every
sorry.
single photo will be a Snapchat filter. I'm like,
If you want to
you
date
don't
a
look
fucking
like that.
dog,
I hate it.
go to the pound. You know what I mean? It's like
One or two photos.
A little bunny nose. It's not cute anymore. It's by 2000.
Are you into bunny nose girls?
No.
It's so unattractive. And I've
No,
heard that's the thing.
because that's how you
That's
get
the
catfished.
problem, eh? With girls, with you guys, and I hear that a lot from my male friends, is they're so sick of the over-filtered girls and the stupid bunny ears and the stupid cat faces. Just be more real and stop filtering yourself so much, right? Because when you meet
I
them,
hate it.
like,
I'll swipe
you
left
don't
on it.
walk around
It's-
in a phase of gold and glitter as much as we'd like.
Well, the
to.
problem is as well is because like the Snapchat, you look at them and you think, God, she actually might be cute, but she also might really not be.
Fucking filtered.
And
yeah.
either way, at least if you didn't have the filters, you know.
Oh, but you know what's funny? What about when guys are filtered? Guys that do the bunny ears, it's like, oh!
I know.
I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. The worst for me, I think, when I'm looking is I won't even entertain, I won't read the bio, I won't look any further photos, is if there's a photo with them doing the fingers.
Oh, God. The
And I'm like,
fingers
are
and
you
the
doing
thumb.
this? Are you doing this to me?
Or a group photo with heaps of
Yeah.
them, like, and all the photos
Funny
that
you
are
should
up.
say
Like,
that.
I can't stand the fingers and the tongue.
I didn't
poking
have a
out.
bio, and I also had one photo with me flicking off the camera.
And that's one of the reasons I didn't want to in the beginning. And
But
then
she did swipe on me.
literally all his photos, he was so handsome. Like that
Wow.
particular bio, he was very handsome. And he kept talking to me and the conversation was good and we were clicking, but I didn't want to meet you because of that photo that you were doing the finger.
It is so off-putting.
And he looked
It really
ridiculous
is.
in it as well. He was doing some weird like flip pose, and I was like, if he looks like his other photos look, because we do that. You analyze. I was like, these photos look good, but that one does not look
Too
good.
good, and that one's really
And
shit.
is that
Well,
the
see,
real
I'm trying to
one?
give you a nice wide variety.
Oh, it
of
didn't
what-
even look like you. I don't know what your body was doing. It was all like, I don't know, but it was weird.
I was standing.
It's a terrible photo.
just standing normally.
But it is.
And that's why you had to be persistent, because I was like, I'm not sure on this
Men's
one.
profiles are either pulling the fingers, poking your tongue out,
glasses on.
glasses on, holding
Fish.
some fucking fish, or
Put the
having
fish down.
having a slaughtered pig on your back.
Put the
And yeah, put the pig down, please. And your photos are so close, it's just an eyeball, this part of your face, and you can see all your nostril hairs
what do we
and
want?
shit.
What do we want?
Just fucking be real.
Personality, I guess.
Be
yeah, but I
natural.
always
Maybe
find
that
it very
is their personality.
Be
I find it
natural.
interesting that girls don't like seeing a guy. Who cares if he's holding a fucking fish and a fishing rod? That's what he likes to do.
But 10 photos of
Yeah,
fishing,
yeah,
or
but
10
as the,
photos
maybe
of
not as
scenery.
the first photo on the thing, maybe as one of the photos.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
because
You know,
like you go for us. Can you imagine being on Tinder going man with a fish, man with a fish, man in glasses, man with a fish, man's eyeball,
Fingers.
man with a fish,
Poking tongue. Fingers. Poking tongue.
man with a fish.
eyeball.
Well, I mean, like it just shows that it's hunter gatherer. Like he's just showing you that.
Yeah,
he
but
can
have one
provide.
of it, not 5. Or when they've got one of themselves and the rest are all of the scenery.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, do you know what I
Or
don't like?
scenery
I tell you what
first.
one
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't like.
I hate those as well.
And I immediately swipe. Too active. If every photo and his whole bio is, I ski, I snowboard, I cycle, I skate, I rollerblade, I jump out of airplanes, I go climb mountains, I go in a spaceship, I go fucking up here, I fucking do this, I fucking do that. And then I'm like, ugh, oh, you're just too full on. When do you relax? Like, yes, let's go
Well,
for a
you're
walk,
only
go for
afraid
a-
that they're going to make you
It's too much.
run, jump out of planes, and go off in spaceships. That's what you're worried about.
No, but it's too much because the expectation of you being on that level is just too much. I mean, hello, you want a weekend, yo? Like, what do? Just do exercise the whole weekend? Hell no. Or go climb fucking mountains? No, thank you. Bushwalks, beach walks, bicycle rides, yeah, sure.
Variety.
But if
Variety's
you've got
important,
so
yeah.
much on it, it is an instant. That is too intimidating. You don't have downtime. You sound too ADHD. See you later.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then again, they might actually not do everything. It might be
No,
just
but
to
that's the
impress
thing.
you.
Well, and that backfires.
Yeah.
Because I like walking and going
Yeah.
to the beach and whatever else. but-
And
like
hence, I don't
knowing
like
their
putting too much on the bio
hobbies.
because if they want to know, then I'd rather get them to know me and ask me all those questions when we're talking on the phone.
I think I
Yeah.
need a bio because I need to know, like it's just like I was saying earlier, I can see someone's attractive, but I'm not necessarily attracted to them. So I need something a little bit more.
To grasp.
And for me, like humor is a huge thing with me.
Oh,
I have to connect
definitely.
with someone
Yeah, definitely.
like with humor and, you know, the same sort of level and things. And, you know, if I went on a page and there was a whole heap of kinkiness and some handcuffs, I'm probably going to be like, that's a bit much right now. So I, you know, maybe later, maybe third date, yeah? But a bit much. But if someone's got a really funny and witty or
I
like
love humor.
intelligent sort of cheeky bio going on, I'm like, that was really cool. Like sometimes I even, like the pictures I've not felt anything through the photos, but there's been a few times where I've been like, I want to say yes just because of how good that bio was. And I've turned out that those people I have the best conversations with and the best connections with.
Cool. That's awesome, yeah.
What about, we have to go, and I really want to know from a man's point of view actually, do you get pussy pics from Tinder? Because, because I want to know, do girls send them as much as men send them?
Hey, go on, you can answer.
Like, you know, when you've been on Tinder on and off for years,
You get lingerie pics.
so lingerie, so no like up close pussy pics, like we get the dick pics, like.
No, not really.
Could you imagine though? Hi, I'm Victoria. Chick.
But they
Here's my
I-
pussy.
But men do as well.
Rarely,
Meet my
rarely.
pussy.
It has, yes, it has happened,
Yeah.
but it's like
So it's not
more
common.
like girls like in lingerie, and they, you know, doing a sexy pose in front of the camera. Maybe like show their ass or something, but not like
You get a lot of
So is
tit
that
pics.
after,
Or
is that
tit
on their
pics.
bio? Or
tit pics.
No, not on the
He
bio.
doesn't get pussy pics, he gets a lot of tit pics.
Tit pics.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
girls do tit pics. Pussy pics.
But
I don't know.
why is it so
didn't do
necessary for guys? Hi, how are you? Want to see my dick? Here. Before you can answer it, it's like, no.
Because
Oh my god.
oh, it's a huge psychology behind it.
There's huge psychology.
Yeah. Well, it just goes. I mean, all guys feel like they have to perform for women, and like again, it goes back to like when
the surprise.
yeah. But I know when you're on profiles and you're looking for a guy, half of the profiles will say must have banter or must have this or something like that, and it's like, do something, make me laugh, please. Like, and it's like
Sending a
so
dick
all
pic
guys.
is definitely going to make us laugh.
So the guy-
Especially if it looks like shit or if it's Mr. Floppy. Why would you send a floppy dick pic? Who got sent that floppy dick pic? Oh, you did. Oh, and I'm like, okay, if guys are going to send a dick pic, What? They're ugly anyways. Why would you send a floppy
I don't
one?
think dicks
From
are
this
ugly.
angle! From this angle!
Yeah, that was
With my rolls here, my hairy ball sacks, and the fucking dick hanging over here. Looking, no, this was literally it. It got shared. And
What about?
sorry.
I know, but
It
I've
was
got
the
a
most
good one.
disgusting thing I've ever
I
seen.
know.
A
Guys,
floppy
What,
one.
what about
Yeah.
a video
a video.
of them sucking their own dick? I've had that.
Sucking their own dick.
I thought that was impossible.
No, it's possible. Trust me.
I want to
No,
see
I
it.
had to look. I had to replay. I had no idea what I was looking at, and then I got it. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Someone sent you
It was that big, and he
Was
was
it that long? Was it long? Or was it fact he's flexible?
no both, but it was like long, and he was sucking his own dick.
Can you share it? I want to see
Oh no,
it.
I deleted
Sarah
that
wants
shit.
to know who it is. A dick that long. Where's his profile?
Traumatized me, I think. Because I was looking at it so closely, trying to figure out what was going on, and then when I realised, I was like, "Holy shit!"
It's impressive. I mean, that takes skill.
I'm sorry, but wow. I wonder
That
if
was
that could
disgusting.
actually ever be true.
No, it was true. I saw it with my own eyes.
Wow.
Pictures expected from girls.
That's insane.
I mean,
No, but it's nice.
it's nice. It's nice to get. I don't ever expect girls to send me pictures.
So if a girl sent you a pussy pic, you wouldn't go, "Oh God, oh it's disgusting," like girls do when we get dick pics.
No.
Yeah, see. Because
No.
we do.
actually had that conversation.
We do. We're like, "Oh,
I was like, and I said to
let's
him,
inspect the penis. Zoom, zoom, zoom."
you know, like sometimes you do when you have all these body parts, you know, some you're attracted to, some maybe not. I said that to you. Have you ever been like with a vagina and you thought that's different? And he's like, well, it's definitely different. He goes, but I've never once ever poorly judged a vagina or a woman, or poorly judged a woman's body.
Like we do with.
He said the only time you do that,
That wasn't my exact.
no, the only time you do that is if it's not hygienic.
That's one. The other thing I put on my profiles whenever I've had them is I have stellar hygiene. That's like
That
one of the
made me
first
laugh.
lines.
I have seen
That's
a couple
quite-
of guys put
Because
Presumption.
that. Does that
because-
mean down there, like?
just in general, well, I do.
Like-
I'm a hygienic person. I
yeah,
like to be
yeah.
clean.
You're a Mr.
But,
Shower,
like,
don't you? You like to
I
shower.
have- I'm not even talking about just like smelling. I'm talking about just like being dirty. I don't like dirty people.
Oh, I don't like no.
Like
No.
you should
Dirty
shower.
hands, like dirty
We live
fingers.
in a first world economy. You know, take a shower at least once a day. You know, I take. It depends. I usually take 1 or 2 a day.
Sometimes you take like 3 or 4 a day.
Well, it depends how much I'm out, and I smell. I sweat and I smell, and I'm
You don't
running
smell,
in.
you
And,
smell
But
beautiful.
you know what?
No, I
I'm
don't.
gonna say, I quite like a bit of BO one guy. Not the first
Me
and
too.
say,
The
but if you're
natural odor. The
no,
natural
but
odor.
if you're with your boyfriend and you start getting in, it's like. I'm like, it's like a light scent, not like a pour,
No
fuck,
idea to you.
go have a shower.
Yeah.
But that light scent is like, fuck, that's so sexy.
like
Let me sniff your
getting a
armpit.
hug from
I know.
I
I
like
sniff their
getting under
armpits.
the armpits. No.
I love it.
I like
sniff
getting in the
Robert, but
armpit.
sometimes as well when I want comfort as well. Robert just goes like and puts his arm up for me, and I'm just like,
But it's nice. It's just that nice.
I
fun
love that. Yeah, because it's
man smell.
well, that's science. That people are attracted through scent. They've done so
Yeah.
many experiments on it, and like picking your partner through scent. And I love your scent.
yeah, but most people don't, and I need to be. You know,
I actually think it's quite common. Obviously not like cheesy dick smell or stinky pussy smell. Because we don't like that. When no, cheesy dick. When you're going downtown and you put pants up and you get a whiff and you're like, I'll come back up and start kissing
Or
your face again.
If they
And
only
back-
wipe their bottoms with toilet paper and they don't clean, all that still. Don't think just because we're on your dick we can't
Oh
smell.
my god, I think that's a whole new conversation.
No, but well, it probably is, and we will definitely be doing this again. But you're right though. Just if you know you're going to be meeting up with somebody, and this is like your 3rd or 4th date, because you're probably going to be getting busy.
Yeah, if it is the
Fucking
3rd or
wash
4th
that
date,
shit.
you should definitely be
Wash
clean.
that shit before you meet, or go into the bathroom and have a quick wash down before you go. I'm just going to go to the toilet. It's when you get to the house and just give it another quick wash.
I'm like that anyway.
I'm
I think the first time we did, I was like, okay, we're going to change the bedding on the bed, and we went and showered and like.
And made it all pretty.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything embarrassing or wrong with being like, hey, we've been out all day, let's go take a shower so we
Yes.
can fuck.
Yeah.
You smell. I don't like. No one wants that. It's not. It doesn't.
It's just
It doesn't
a freaking
enhance the
odor.
experience unless that's a fetish you're into. And if you're into that, no shame. That's fine. No kink shaming. I don't care. But I am not into that. And if
So you don't like the little bit of sweet, sweaty smell pussy?
it depends. It's faintly, maybe. Not like I'm not trying to like.
He's like, fuck no, get
No,
in the
I want it
goddamn
to smell
shower.
like Dove soap or something else. I don't know. Like.
I won't let him near me unless I'm clean. Even now.
Yeah, but you don't.
You want it to be clean.
You're a very clean person always.
Yeah.
Even when you
Yeah.
say you're not clean.
But
you're
what
clean.
about spontaneous stuff though? Is there any like just quick bang?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
This doesn't mean that I'm gonna be.
But if I
you
love
know,
spontaneous
If I've
sex.
just been for a jog.
In the bush.
Yeah, but if I've just been for a
Fucking feel
jog
like it.
and then I come home and I'm sweating like a pig and he's just like, and he's like,
Okay.
babe, let me go down on you. I'm kind of like, now's
okay,
not the
all right.
time.
When's the last time you went for a jog, Victoria?
You're all right.
Yeah,
Bringing
no,
it
it's
back.
a year ago.
I do enjoy that.
The one
I
jog
like-
a year.
I like gym sweat. Yeah, that's different. Not like all day. I've been going A to
Not,
B to
not
C
the dried
sweat.
up stale gym sweat though,
No,
an
like
hour
fresh.
or two later.
Yeah, no, like right then and there. I find that.
Yeah, I don't get
It's
it.
hot.
No, I like that.
But definitely, we will definitely be getting more
we
into this
we
as
could have
we
licked over that. I'm like, I'm
get
showering.
into
He's
the
like, it's
sex
fine. I'm like, I'm
talk.
showering.
But man, we can have a good convo on all the sex talk and
That's layers and layers and layers on that.
yeah.
So yeah, so the conclusion is, so there is success,
To the dirty mind now. We're all stuck on sex.
I know it's very freaking hot in here. I can't wait to have a jacket off. So there is success stories, and there can be, and you can find love, and you can find true love in online dating. So your Tinder and your Hinge and your Bumble. But there's also quite a huge, consensus that it is for fucking, quick hookups, or
It's just changed. It's changed the whole
Yeah.
dating scene completely. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, if people went in there on there and just stated honestly, I'm looking for a long-term relationship straight away, no saying it and then meeting up and saying, oh, I'm not too sure, if I want a relationship or not, whatever. You've got to sort of like tell them straight up, I want a relationship, or I'm just there to fuck, whatever.
yeah. I've got no DTF on mine. Right at the bottom. If you're DTF, trot along, I put on.
You still get that though.
I think given the chance, I think most people would prefer to, if they could have that perfect experience, which it never is, but if they could have that perfect experience of meeting someone in person in a cute way or whatever, or making eye contact where you see someone and you're like, and then you spark a conversation, anyone would do it. But I think the internet dating has changed it where it's sort of, it's giving everyone a lack of confidence. In that
Yeah, yeah, it does. It really does.
So you're afraid of what someone's going to say. You're afraid of rejection.
I would love to hear what other people think about
Yeah,
this. I would
same
love to
here.
hear people's horror stories. I would love to hear people's success
Success stories, funny stories.
and also generally, so what we've been talking about today, what other people's feelings are on it.
Yeah, yeah. Anything that's worked for them, any hints, anything
Hints for
what
men,
to do, what
hints
not to
for
do.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do, so after this, in the end of it, we'll leave our email address, and we would like to hear from you wonderful people out there, exactly what Victoria said. Share your stories, your success stories, your funny stories, your, oh my God.
Any questions you might have?
Yeah, any questions that you may have, and
Yeah.
we will share our email address and link, and you can give us all your deets. And what we'll do is we'll share some of the funny stories and some of the stories on the next podcast. I think that'd be quite cool to share.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Share people's experiences.
Definitely. Yeah. So if you want your story shared, feel free to send it through to us.
Absolutely.
Be quite interesting to see.
I know, I look forward to the fun
I think we've
ones.
got
I
a
like
few
the fun
giggles coming our way.
ones. Yeah, definitely. But thank you for checking in and listening to us from Sarah, Victoria, gorgeous Robert, a wonderful guest. Thank you so much, by the way, for coming on, Robert. Being the token man amongst all of this, and the beautiful Renata. Be safe, be kind, and look after one another, and be true, be real.